Welcome back to episode 46 of the minisode series of A Doctor's Perspective podcast. Before we jump in, I've been busy. It's been a while, actually, since I've recorded one of these. I went on a binge. My little precious baby just turned 1 in September, early September. So we went out to a park that had like these little trains for kids and all these flowers and some things for adults as well, and just made a nice weekend of it. Really had a good time. A special place for her birthday. It had like one of those circular slides and a ball pit and these little areas where you can like go shopping with your kid, pretend. But a good time. I did get sick, unfortunately, that weekend. So, I was like, my goodness, what is happening? So I could not enjoy her birthday quite as much as I wanted to. But we got some good pictures. So later in life, when she needs a slideshow presentation, we'll have a few good ones for her. Headed out to Shanghai again this month, and next month, October, is supposed to be like they're going to have a bunch of foreigners and all kind of stuff. So looking forward to that. And this time, actually, wife and kid are going to come. She's going to visit some friends in Shanghai while I work, and then we'll spend another day or two doing a little more sightseeing. Hopefully some things that we haven't seen before, because I've been on that path already. All right, let's jump in. Today's show is going to be with Story Brand, episode 141. It's about emotions. The catchphrase of the show was, I am not angry, the me is angry. So when some kind of situation gets you really ticked off and you really want to just lose it, it's a way to cool down and become less emotionally angry. It's like, I'm not angry, but the me is angry. I can sense myself from the outside that why did this bother me so much? And one way they said to create like happiness is actually have lower expectations and higher perceptions. I mean, I'm not saying walk around, it's going to rain. Oh, it didn't rain. Fantastic. What a great day. It's not saying be a pessimist, but when you're going to go to some place, or a new restaurant, a new whatever, a new business venture, a business meeting, if you have your expectations a little bit lower, like maybe I'm not going to hit a grand slam, my first at bat, my first meeting with these people, but can I get to first base? And it's kind of looking at your status quo. Does the status quo of your life, does that make you happy? Is it very blah? And what can you do about it to change? Joining a club, dancing, a gym, some kind of sports, getting a dog. What can increase your status quo in life so that you're just always kind of like on the happy side of things? So they did a study trying to figure out in the brain, would we treat strangers differently than we would treat people that we love? Like, are they a threat or not? So they mapped it out, and they would show pictures of like your family, and then you could zap them, and you can turn up the zap how much you want. Or maybe they would say, hey, you want it higher or lower? And then somebody else would administer it. And what they found was, quite not surprising. People you love, you wouldn't want to zap them as high. Strangers, maybe we could zap them. And there was a higher degree of emotional distress if, like, I guess you didn't have a choice and you had to zap your family harder. They interpreted some of that as when you have a business and you're trying to create sales copy and emails and things like that. How are you able to create emotion so that it pulls on the heartstrings of people? Examine, and that's kind of the pulling it all together, okay? If we're trying to pull on the heartstrings of our customers, you have to put your mind into the customer, right? Seeing the world through their eyes, not yours. So when you tell the story, again, the patient's life improved, they got results. Again, they're the hero, you're the guide. You can find inspiration outside of your own realm. So really just trying to be aware of your surroundings, listen to stories that your patients tell you, things that you might read, and how can you apply that, and how does it affect you? That's one way. Like if you read a story and you're like, oh, that made me sad, that made me angry, and you can kind of use that and think about, okay, that could be an email. How do I turn this into an email? And then, of course, after you write it, tweaking it for your customer. That's how you have to do it at first. Once you get good at like putting yourself in your customer's shoes and writing for them, it becomes easier. But at first, you just kind of have to try, And to bring it home again, it was when you find yourself getting angry, separate yourself from those emotions so you can recognize it and not become emotionally compromised. Because think about with my kid, she'll do something and I can get angry, but I'm aware of, hey, she's 1. She doesn't know what she's doing. It's not her fault. Don't yell at her. Just be a better parent and anticipate her getting things that she's not supposed to get into, right? Give yourself a little break sometimes. Sometimes we're just too hard on ourselves, but we can kind of figure it out. Remove yourself from the situation, examine it, And sometimes you just got to be quiet because, you know, we can say things that damage relationships when we could have just shut up. That's all I got for you today. Y'all have a fantastic one. We just went #behind the curtain.